So good morning friends, welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. So guys, here we are about to here we are about to start the session. I will be uploading the PDF for today's session. Just give me a minute here. So the PDF has already been uploaded. You can download the PDF from our Telegram group. Okay. Sangram, Pranjal, Vicky, Mohit, Yamandeep, Pretty, Ajay, Pooja, Yogesh, Vivek, Cake Planet, Vaibhav, Sai Teja, Avatar Singh. Good morning all. Vivek, good morning. So here we are about to start. Let's see what exactly is there for us in today's newspaper. First, we are going to start with the thought process. Okay, this idea is given by none other than Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, Bhagyesh, good morning. So here he is saying that learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. The basic essence is that we start by learning. And when you talk about learning, it is a lifelong process. We cannot say that like I am a learned person because I have attained all the knowledge that is there in me. ऐसा मैं नहीं कह सकता हूँ. Okay, it's a lifelong process and it is the essence for creativity. It is the essence for creativity. Okay, and the same creativity you will be using for your innovation. So if you are working as a bureaucrat, आपको तो innovate करना पड़ेगा. Okay, it is expected from you. Bureaucrat is expected to be innovative, and you need to have creativity within you to find the solutions of the problems that are existing. Then creativity leads to thinking. Okay, creativity leads to thinking. That without thinking, definitely we cannot go ahead with the creative ideas. We need to use our wisdom. Wisdom हम use करेंगे, and in the process you are going to possess knowledge. Okay, and in the process you are going to possess knowledge. Now you tell me one thing. We do say that the present time which is going on, it is the knowledge age. Okay, it is the knowledge age. This is what we say. The emphasis that we put on is on studies. ये हम आज की डेट में कह रहे हैं because knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Now, as we know that this knowledge is going to help you to attain power, you will be empowered, you will be a supreme being. This is how you can become great. This is how you can become great. Okay, this is the important part that is there. Now, you have to link it with other aspects of the governance. So, take the example. What is the importance of having right to information? Right to information is going to provide information which can be linked with the learning. If the information is available, then only an individual will be able to learn. If the information is not available, the individual will not be able to learn. As simple as that. So if you want creative solutions to the problems that are existing, it is important that we need to put information in the public domain. जितना ज़्यादा पब्लिक डोमेन में इंफॉर्मेशन होगा, जितना ज़्यादा ट्रांसपेरेंट आपका एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन होगा, द मोर ट्रांसपेरेंट योर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज गोइंग टू बी. देर इज अ यू कैन से मोर डिसेमिनेशन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन अमंग द पीपल. डेफिनेटली द मोर क्रिएटिव आइडियाज विल बी फ्लोटेड. बहुत सारे क्रिएटिव आइडियाज जो है वो आने लगेंगे. If you are going ahead with the public participation, okay, again public participation means that you are going to make people learn it. If this is there, if public participation is there, okay, this is also the way with which we can enhance creativity in the governance activity that we are doing. and accordingly we will be creating an empowered citizen. An empowered citizen, okay, and an empowered citizen is the one who can become great. Only the empowered citizen can become great. This is what we are focusing upon. Okay, so you need to know about these particular words which were uh, like suggested by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So ये हमें मालूम होना चाहिए, ठीक है ना, थोड़ा डिटेल के अंदर. Okay, now where you are going to use these particular words, I already provided that information that it can be directly used, say in, if there is a question in your GS paper 3, GS paper 4. If there is a question directly, any question related to innovation, any question related to you can say information, knowledge, there you can use this particular statement. Apart from that, we have seen UPSC is asking philosophical essays. Okay, in your essay paper as well, you can use these words which are floated by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So this is the utility from the exam perspective, and normally in our life as well, we need to work on attaining knowledge. Knowledge is going to empower us. This is the important point that you have to understand. Okay, so we'll move to the main section of the newspaper now. Now this is the news which is there. Retail inflation quickens to an almost 8-year high, okay, at 7.8%. Now this is what is alarming. See, why do we need to control inflation? So that's the important question you have to understand. Inflation को हम control क्यों करते हैं? Why? What is the importance of controlling inflation? So first thing is that it is the poor section of the society who will be majorly impacted. If the food inflation is increasing, अगर food inflation increase होता है, so definitely everyone is going to make an arrangement for food. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि लोग खाना खाना बंद कर देंगे. Okay, so in that case, the major impact will be on the poor section of the society. This is first point. This is first point. Another impact of inflation is on the savings. So please pay attention. Try to understand how it is going to impact savings. Okay. So take example, we put our money in the banks, हम बैंक में अपना पैसा रखते हैं. At present, bank is going to give you 4% rate of interest. Okay, whatever amount that we are putting in the bank account, bank is going to give us 4%. Okay, 4% हमें मिलेगा. Now suppose, what is the level of inflation right now? Inflation at present is 7%. Suppose you have 100 rupees with you, okay, and you are going to put that 100 rupees in bank. In return, you will get 104 rupees. 104 रुपए मिलेंगे आपको. At the same point, there is a product, say television. The cost of television today is 100%, 100 rupees. The cost of television today is 100 rupees, but the inflation is 7%. Okay, so next year the cost of television is going to be 107. Cost of television is going to be 107. So today you were in a position to buy that television. आज की डेट में आप वो टीवी ले सकते थे, but next year you will have 104 rupees from the bank. But the cost has increased to 107. It means that आपके पैसे की वैल्यू नेगेटिव हो गई. ओके, आपके पैसे की वैल्यू नेगेटिव हो गई. That last year you were able to buy that TV, but today you will not be able to buy that TV. This is the point you have to understand. So if this is the scenario, if inflation is going on, instead of saving money in bank, okay, instead of saving money in bank, people will say that okay, let's spend it. हम उसको खर्च कर लेते हैं. बैंक में पैसा क्यों डालें हम? बैंक में पैसा क्यों डालें? बैंक में पैसा डाल के तो आपके पैसे की वैल्यू कम हो रही है. आज आप 100 रुपए का टीवी ले सकते थे, अगले साल नहीं ले पाओगे. So this is the point you have to understand. So people will say that okay, but there is no point in saving money. Let's spend it. अभी खर्च करते हैं. And this is going to have impact on the whole investment cycle. Why I am saying that investment cycle? Because it is the savings in the bank which will be used to lend money. Okay, जो लोन वगैरह दिए जाते हैं वो savings के उससे ही तो आता है. If the bank is not having a money, तो फिर वो लोन कैसे देगा? That's the point you have to understand. So this is why it is important that we study about this thing, okay, and we are working on controlling the inflation. So here the things are in detail. So it is also said that the food cost led the surge with inflation measured by consumer price index jumping to 17-month high. So ये इतना ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है, ठीक है ना, एंड स्पेसिफिकली द फूड प्राइसेस आर मोर इन रूरल एरियाज. दिस इज व्हाट इट इज. This is what it is. So economists, what they are saying that sharp acceleration in the retail inflation explained the central bank's rush to raise the interest rate. इसीलिए बैंक ने इंटरेस्ट रेट को इंक्रीज किया है. ओके, बैंक ने इंटरेस्ट रेट को इंक्रीज किया है. इट विल गोइंग टू हैव some of the benefits. One thing is that it is going to squeeze the money from the economy. आपकी इकोनॉमी से भी थोड़ा मनी स्क्वीज कर लेगा, ठीक है ना. This is also the point. It means that if the money is being squeezed, the demand will come down. थोड़ा डिमांड कम हो जाएगा. As the demand will come down, the prices will also come down. This is one point. Okay. Other angle that people are exploring, कि भी दूसरी चीज जो यहां पे बता रहे हैं कि that inflation, okay, now this is what bank has done. Other benefit is going to be that as banks have increased the interest rate, RBI has increased the interest rate, the interest rate that you are going to get on your savings may also be increased. So people will put more money in bank. This is also one of the reason. जो आपकी सेविंग्स है उसका इंटरेस्ट रेट भी बढ़ जाएगा, तो लोगों को ज्यादा पैसा मिलेगा एंड दे विल पुट मोर मनी इन बैंक. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट इट इज गोइंग टू बी. दिस इज व्हाट इट इज गोइंग टू बी, एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव टू सी हाउ things are going to turn up in the coming future. Okay, and there are few things which are there which are even beyond the RBI's control. So I already told you this thing. So fuel prices are increasing. Okay, primarily it is due to the Russia-Ukraine crisis. This is the reason. So this is beyond the control of RBI. So even if we are trying our level best, RBI is trying its level best, okay, but still there are some limitations. चीजें कुछ लिमिटेड रहेंगी. ओके, सो ये चीज समझना जरूरी है. जरूरी नहीं है कि इन्फ्लेशन एकदम से कम आ जाए, ठीक है ना. इट मे नॉट कम, इट डिपेंड्स एक्चुअली. ओके, इट मे नॉट कम एंड इट डिपेंड्स. So this is the important point you have to understand. This is the important point you have to understand. We have to still wait and watch how things will turn up in the coming days. Okay, चीजें किस तरीके से आगे चलेंगी, तो वो हमें थोड़ा यहाँ पे देखना पड़ेगा. So this is what it is. Now we'll move to the next part. So here we have this news. Gotabaya appoints Ranil as the Sri Lankan Prime Minister. So Ranil Wickremesinghe, he will be the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, and it is considered that he is and his party is pro-India. Okay, so this is how the development is, and the Rajapaksa family is known to be pro-China. We know this fact. So this gentleman is known to be pro-India. From that angle, if you are seeing things, it is a welcome step. Okay, if he will be the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. But Sri Lanka is already under crisis. We have to still wait and watch how things will turn up in the coming days. चीजें कैसे बदलेंगी, तो वो थोड़ा हमें यहाँ पे देखना पड़ेगा, ठीक है ना. So this is what it is. Still the situation is really very alarming. आज की डेट में तो situation काफी alarming है उधर. Okay, and it is not desirable for us. Any sort of political instability in your neighborhood is going to have some repercussion for us as well. हमारे लिए भी कुछ repercussion उसमें होगा ही होगा, ठीक है ना. So ये चीज यहाँ पे समझना जरूरी है. Okay, so we need to be understanding these developments that are going on. So we'll move to the next news is regarding this part. Finland leaders in favor of seeking NATO membership. Okay, so this is what you need to understand. Now they are saying that they are also looking forward to join NATO. Right now, the Scandinavian countries, if you talk about these countries, they say that they want Scandinavia to be nuclear free. कि कहीं ना कहीं कोई न्यूक्लियर वेपन वगैरह यहाँ पे नहीं होना चाहिए. दिस इज व्हाट दे डिमांडेड. दिस इज व्हाट दे एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम द होल वर्ल्ड. नाउ इफ आफ्टर watching what has happened to Ukraine and the assertiveness of Russia, they are skeptical about their safety and future. So they are saying that they might join NATO. But the problem is this: Russians have warned these countries. Russians have said that if you are thinking of joining NATO, we are going to militarize the whole region. हम पूरे एरिया को मिलिटराइज कर देंगे. ओके, सो रशियंस आर सेइंग दैट राइट नाउ वी आर नॉट पुटिंग मिलिट्री इक्विपमेंट इन दिस एरिया बिकॉज these countries are neutral. These countries are neutral. So they said that as you are neutral, we are not militarizing this area. But if you are thinking of joining NATO, definitely we have to militarize the whole region. This is what Russians are coming up to. So this is what we need to understand. This is what we need to understand. That Russians are thinking in this way. Okay, Russians are thinking in this way, and they have already issued warning to them. Warning has already been issued to these countries. Okay, now we have to see if they will still look forward to join NATO or not, because if they are still moving ahead to join NATO, definitely there will be some repercussion from the Russian side. Russian side से कुछ ना कुछ repercussion, कुछ ना कुछ action जो है वो जरूर होगा. Okay, so this is the important point you have to understand. This is the important point you have to understand how things are turning up. Okay, how things are turning up. So ये कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो हमें यहाँ पे समझनी होंगी. ठीक है ना. Already this crisis is going on and like we do expect this particular war to end as early as possible. जितना जल्दी हो सके ये war end हो जाए. Okay, otherwise it is going to have a big toll on the economy and the like recovery of the whole world. Okay, तो ये हालत यहाँ पे बनी हुई है. So this is also the news which is being there. So we have to still wait and watch चीज़ें कैसे आगे बढ़ेंगी. So event horizon revealed true colors of Sagittarius A. Okay, so it is said that at the center of Milky Way there is a black hole. तो ये चीज़ यहाँ पे बताई गई है. ठीक है ना. It has been revealed now. So this is what it is. So name of that black hole is termed to be Sagittarius A. Okay, so this is what we need to know. So directly we'll move to the editorial section. सीधा editorial section पे चलते हैं, देखते हैं क्या यहाँ पे हो रहा है यहाँ पे. Okay, so here we are moving towards editorial section. This is what we have to cover. Now again, there are some questions that are raised over the delimitation activity that is being carried out in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, there are some valid concerns. Valid concern है, valid in the sense that in the Jammu region the number of seats have increased by 6 and in Kashmir region the number of the seats have been increased by 1. Why this difference is there? जम्मू के अंदर 6 सीट क्यों बढ़ाई और कश्मीर में 1 सीट क्यों बढ़ाई? This is what the political parties of Jammu and Kashmir are asking. Okay, they are saying that something fishy is there. Something fishy is there, and in this way, if we are not able to come out with the justification to this particular question that why there is a difference, still you can say that the political process is not going to have major impact. उस केस में हम ये नहीं मानेंगे कि पॉलिटिकल प्रोसेस का इम्पैक्ट जो है वो मेजर होगा, दैट दीज पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज दे आर गोइंग टू पार्टिसिपेट इन इलेक्शन. This is what you need to understand. So if we want full support from these political parties, we have to come out with the justification. And at present it appears that that justification might not be possible. Okay, that justification might not be possible. So here in this editorial, they are pointing towards this thing that political parties in Jammu and Kashmir, specifically in Kashmir, they are not happy with these developments. Okay, because they are saying that do you want to reduce the, you can say, impact or influence of Kashmir in the politics of Jammu and Kashmir? This is what they are saying. They are feeling weakened. उनको ऐसा लग रहा है कि वो weak हो जाएंगे. And the Jammu-based political parties and primarily BJP is on a stronghold. BJP is having a stronghold. So they are saying that BJP is going to be a major beneficiary of these developments that are going on. That if you are just increasing the, you can say, number of seats in Jammu region and not addressing it in the Kashmir region, then definitely BJP will have the upper hand. This is what they are talking about. Okay, this is what they are talking about. So central question is why Jammu has gained 6 seats and Valley has only gained 1 seat. So the delimitation commission is coming out with the argument that they have used some different method. कुछ अलग type का method वो use कर रहे हैं. The other problem is with that of proposal to allow president to nominate one Pandit migrant to two assembly seats. Okay, that president will be nominating two Pandit migrants to the two assembly seats. Now the point is this: if they want to provide this particular arrangement, okay, then why in parliament thus this type of arrangement is not existing? अगर वहां पे वो ये अरेंजमेंट लेके आना चाहते हैं, then why there is no reference to Pandit who remain in valley and those who are, say, from West Pakistan, those who have come from West Pakistan refuge from to India. So this is what they are saying, and already we know that Anglo-Indian reservation has been lapsed since 2020. So if you are lapsing a system in the parliament, why are you coming up in the state? This is what they are saying. तो अगर करना है तो कश्मीरी पंडित्स को जो है पार्लियामेंट में भी आप नॉमिनेशन का प्रोविजन करो, राज्यसभा में भी नॉमिनेशन का प्रोविजन करो. Okay, so this is what they are saying. This is what they are saying. So this doubt has been raised. And another point is being raised is this matter is again there with the Supreme Court. If Supreme Court is going to declare the whole development to be nullified, अगर ये nullify कर दिया Supreme Court ने, then what is going to be the action? उसके बाद क्या होगा? This is what you have to understand. That if Supreme Court is going to nullify the whole delimitation findings and activity, what will be the next move? There is no answer to that. So all these points are being raised in this editorial. So we'll move to the next part now. India needs a credible count of its COVID toll. Okay, so this is what they are saying. Why we need to have a credible count? See, when you talk about policy making will produce or will be made in a right way only if the data is right. Okay, if the data is right, then only you will be able to have right policy, and then we can think of right implementation. उसके बाद ही right implementation होगा. Okay, this is what it is. If your data is not right, definitely your policy is not going to be right, and definitely the outcome of the policy implementation is not going to be desirable. As simple as that. तो ये चीज समझनी जरूरी है, ठीक है ना, ये चीज समझनी जरूरी है. Okay, so that's why we are emphasizing that in future, if you want to improve the health infrastructure which is there in India, we have to strengthen, we need to have a right data. Okay, that's the important point here. Now there is a debate which is published in The Hindu which is saying that did RBI wait too long to raise the interest rate? And why this particular question is being raised? The question is being raised because the interest rate were increased by RBI in an ad hoc manner. एकदम ad hoc manner में ये बढ़ाया गया है. Randomly there was a press conference by the RBI governor, and in between they announced that they are going to increase the rates. This is what it is. This is what it is. So people are saying that there can be multiple reasons. One of the reason is this: the day RBI increased the rate, okay, in the evening itself there was a news that US Federal Reserve, it has also increased the rates. So maybe this could be the triggering point कि RBI को लगा कि अभी शाम को जो है US Federal Reserve is going to increase the rate. So it is important कि भी हम भी interest rate को एकदम से बढ़ाएं. This is the point. This is the point which is there. Now there are some other things that are to be addressed. So we know that you have Monetary Policy Committee. Monetary Policy Committee has the target, inflationary target, that inflation should be maintained between 4 plus minus 2. Okay, that maximum range is 6. Now people are saying that, like, it is being argued that inflation was already 6%. So RBI would have realized that it is important that if interest rates are not going to be increased, the inflation will not come down. So if the inflation is to be controlled, then RBI had to take some action, and that's why they increased the rate. This is what it was. This is what it was. Already you need to understand, since COVID, there are some developments that are there. So your central bank and the government of different countries, they're already walking a tightrope between growth and inflation. We have seen we are living in an abnormal environment where you had impact of COVID, where you have Russia-Ukraine conflict. Okay, so at one point supply chains are impacted. यहाँ पे supply chain impacted है because there is lockdown that is there in China. China में lockdown लग रहा है, and you have Ukraine-Russia conflict which led to increase in commodity prices, which led to increase in crude prices. Okay, so these developments are taking place. And in this environment, central banks across the world, they took the accommodative stance. They said that it is important to revive the economy, कि भाई economy को revive करना जरूरी है, and they start pumping money in the economy. And the interest rates were reduced, loans were made cheaper, loan सस्ते हो गए थे, interest rate जो है वो कम कर दिए गए थे. But it was only there because we were living in an extraordinary circumstances, as simple as that. It was also there that after this particular impact of COVID will be addressed, the central bank will move towards the normalcy. Normalcy means it was expected that central bank is going to increase the interest rate. This is what was expected. But when you are pumping in money in the economy, there is one negative fallout, and that negative fallout is the inflationary pressures. Inflationary pressures. As it is going to make a demand pull inflation. जब लोगों के हाथ में ज़्यादा पैसा आता है, so उससे जो है they are ready to pay higher prices. This is what it is. This is what it is. So right now, by increasing the interest rate, when the interest rates will be increased, the loans are going to be expensive. आपके loan expensive हो जाएंगे. When loans are going to be expensive, it means that people are going to have less money in their hand, and accordingly, it is expected that the inflationary pressure will reduce to some extent. Why I am saying this, the inflationary pressure is going to reduce to some extent only, because there are few things which are beyond the control of RBI. So you have Ukraine-Russia crisis. We don't know to how long this crisis will continue. US experts are saying that Ukraine-Russia crisis may prolong for 1 year. एक पूरा साल चल सकता है वो लड़ाई. This is how it is. There is another point. That crude prices are increasing. What will you do in that scenario? These things are not in the control of RBI. ये beyond monetary policy action के जा रहा है, ठीक है ना? This is the point you have to understand. So this is what RBI is trying to do. Now rising input cost, this is also one of the reason that inflationary pressure is there. Okay, input cost जरूर बढ़ रहा है. We have seen it. Why the input cost have increased? Suppose raw material is not coming from China. The supply chain is not there from China. China से supply नहीं आ रहा है, raw material नहीं आ रहा है. Manufacturer को prices increase करने पड़ेंगे. And those prices are to be passed on to consumer. This is what is happening. So already there is a war going on in Ukraine. There is a lockdown that is being imposed in China. And this has disrupted the global supply chain. This is what you have to understand. And the result of all this is that your inflation is increasing. That's the point here. So at present, it was observed by RBI that the inflation is still going beyond 6%. That's why they acted immediately. Apart from that, we have also seen some new developments that coal shortage is also going on. Now, as the coal shortage is going on, okay, which is going to impact power tariff. Right now, we had to import coal, and I told you about this particular point. In the international market, the prices of coal has increased 4 times what it was 2 years back. 2 साल पहले जितना था उससे 4 times हो गया है. That's the point you have to understand. So definitely the impact has to be passed on to the consumer. वो power tariff आपको increase करना ही करना पड़ेगा. That's the point. So as the power tariff is going to increase, it means that input cost is going to further increase. अगर बिजली महंगी हो जाएगी तो industrial units का input cost तो बढ़ेगा ही बढ़ेगा. There is no doubt about it. So all these things are going on. ठीक है ना? So ये सारी चीजें हैं. And in this environment, at one point you have to control inflation. एक inflation control करना है. Simultaneously you have to focus on growth as well. And sometimes it becomes difficult. That's why you have to increase the interest rate, and this is what RBI is doing. apart from that, there are some other developments that government is also expanding, or government is also increasing its expenditure in infrastructure. Infrastructure के ऊपर सरकार आपकी पैसा डाल रही है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर सरकार आपकी जो है वो पैसा डाल रही है. ओके, इट इज वेरी मच यू कैन से एग्जिस्टिंग. दिस इज व्हाट द पॉइंट इज. दिस इज व्हाट द पॉइंट इज. And it is going to have multiplier effect. No doubt your economy will revive. But the big concern is to have to control the negative interest rate. I already provide that information to you. मैंने आपको पहले ही explain किया कि negative interest rate क्यों हो जाएगा. So the product that you could have bought in 100 rupees today, next year it will be 107, and the interest rate that you will get in your bank is 104. तो आपके पास तो 3 रुपए कम हो गए. ओके, सो दैट्स द नेगेटिव इंटरेस्ट रेट. दैट्स द नेगेटिव इंटरेस्ट रेट. So this is what it is going to be. If there is a negative interest rate, people will not go for saving. लोग पैसा सेव ही नहीं करेंगे. This is what it is. So on the question of notifying minorities, okay, so right now the PIL has been filed in the Supreme Court to decide whether states have the power to declare minorities or the union government. Okay, so this is the debate. This is the debate. So let's look into this. Now that's the question: who assigns minority status? Center, states, or both? Okay, so you have section 2F of the National Commission for Minority Educational Institutions, which says that minority for the purpose of this act means community notified such by central government. Okay, तो अब आपके पास एक legal provision है which says that it will be notified by the central government, and that's why we say that it is problematic. So this particular PIL has been filed, which talks about curtailing the power of center. भी ये जो center की खुद ब खुद जो है minority declare करने की power है, इसका कुछ करना पड़ेगा. That's why this PIL has been filed. So the 6 community are currently notified as minorities. Okay, so you have Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Parsis, and Jain. This is how at national level it is there. Okay, now there is another judgment which is there in TM Pai Foundation versus State of Karnataka, which says that for the purpose of determining minority, the unit will be state, not the whole India. So this judgment says that instead of like declaring, you can say, minority on the basis of, say, pan India level, it should not be the unit. Rather, the unit should be the state, respective state. So this is the point which is being told. At present, the center is saying that it has the concurrent power with states to take measure for the welfare of minorities. This is what center is saying. Center is saying that we will declare a particular community as minority because we want to do some benefit to them. We want to give some benefit to them, and this is the concurrent power that is being provided to us. तो वो इस तरीके से बात कह रहे हैं. वो इस तरीके से बात कह रहे हैं. So this is what the debate is going on. This is what the debate is going on, whether the center should have the power or the state should have the power, and this is what the Supreme Court has to decide. This is what the Supreme Court has to decide. That's why the debate is still going on. Okay, so this is what is there. This is what is there. Now we'll move to the next part. So the India Hypertension Control Initiative. Okay, so we know that the non-communicable diseases are increasing in this country, and we have to work upon them, and the hypertension and other things are also related to the poor, you can say, lifestyle choices that we are making. जो हमारा poor lifestyle choices है, जो हम आजकल जी रहे हैं, okay, that is also responsible for this particular development. So this is what we need to know. ये सारी चीज़ हमें मालूम होनी चाहिए, ठीक है? This is what we need to know, okay, that your lifestyle choices are seriously ending up in trouble. So this is what it is. So we move to the next part now. आगे चलते हैं. So on this page there is nothing much. Okay. So Karnataka to take the ordinance route on anti-conversion bill. So multiple states have come out with this anti-conversion bill. Okay. But the Supreme Court has clears, you can say, this particular idea in multiple judgment, which says that no one can force the other person to follow this religion or that religion, and the lurement and all which are given, that method is also not right. ओके, तो कई बार ल्योरमेंट वगैरह दे के जो है उससे भी लोगों को बोला जाता है कि यू चेंज योर रिलीजन. So that is not right. This is what the judgments have said. But still, the states are, making an effort at their end. Primarily, this could be possible because of the political reasons. Okay, because in Karnataka, already the elections might be due. Elections aayenge. So in this scenario, they may be trying to explore some, you can say, polarization. कि कुछ कुछ करके polarization हो जाए. This is what some of the experts are saying. Okay, so ये इस type की situation यहाँ पे बनी हुई है, ठीक है ना? So ये चीज़ को लेके हमें थोड़ी clarity होनी चाहिए. Okay, this is what it is. This is what it is. So apart from that, now calls for global effort to curb the match fixing. Okay, so we have seen it like multiple times. There are players which are indulged in match fixing. बहुत से players जो हैं वो match fixing में फंसे हैं. Okay, so right now, like, this debate is going on. So what has been found is that there are institutional gaps. Okay, that institutional gaps are there. That's why it is difficult to fix the match fixing. कि match fixing को रोका जाए उसके लिए effort करना थोड़ा difficult हो जाता है. Okay, this is what they are saying. And apart from that, there is a prelims related, you can say, content. So right now we have something called Macaulay Convention. We have something called Macaulay Convention. So it is the only convention which is available to us, which is the reference to us, which talks about controlling the match fixing. This is what it is. So again, this is the Council of Europe Convention on Manipulation of Sports Competition, known as Macaulay Convention. So you should be noting it down. This is related to your prelims. Okay, ये prelims से related है, Macaulay Convention. तो ये हमें मालूम होना चाहिए. So apart from that, the arrangements are not there. Apart from this, the arrangements are not there. Okay, so we'll move to the next part. आगे चलते हैं, देखते हैं और क्या खास है हमारे यहाँ पे. So General Pandey reviews the situation in Ladakh. Okay, so it is important that we need to have a close watch over things that are developing. Now, 4 CBI sub-inspector held on graft charges and they will be dismissed. Okay, so this is what has happened. Now, these individuals, they indulged in extortion. इन्होंने fake raid की थी. Fake raid की थी किसी IT कंपनी के यहाँ पे. And this is how it is. These type of developments, definitely they malign the image of CBI. इस तरीके से CBI की image जो है वो खराब होती है. Okay, Prime Minister calls for WHO reform. Definitely it is required, in the sense that already the questions were raised over the working of WHO. It was appearing that it is getting too closer to China. WHO was reluctant to criticize China. So they were also reluctant to have inquiry in Wuhan. Wuhan में inquiry को लेके भी ये थोड़े reluctant थे. Okay, so this is the reason why we are talking about making it more transparent. इसको ज़्यादा transparent बनाने की बात कर रहे हैं हम. Okay, making it more democratic. So this is the point you have to understand. Now apart from this, so we have this news. Now full coverage of government schemes will end appeasement politics. Okay, so they are saying that the government schemes that we announce, it should be targeting the whole community. पूरे country को target करेगा, मतलब complete population को, not for the specific sections of the society. This is what he is pointing towards. He is saying that by doing that, the appeasement politics will end, because the benefits that the government is going to announce, it will be for all. वो सबके लिए होगा वो, ठीक है ना, वो सबके लिए होगा. That's the point. That's the point. Other than that, there is nothing much on this page. Okay, now hunger risk from climate is a threat. So we have seen, because of climate change, okay, there is a chance that productivity will come down. The yield, the agriculture productivity, the yield will come down. Now, if the yield will come down, definitely it will be a threat to the food security. It will be a threat to the food security. And why I am saying this, if you see the reports that are coming, in the present time, it appears that the wheat production will be nearly 5 to 6% less what it was last year. 5 to 6% less than normal. The prime reason that they are saying is this, that this is primarily because of the climate change. ये climate change की वजह से बताया जा रहा है, ठीक है ना? So that's the point, that's the point that we have to understand. So Ujjwala LPG scheme, 90 lakh beneficiaries don't take refills. 90 lakh beneficiaries don't take refills. Okay, so it is the important point. Now if you want the complete success of Ujjwala scheme, we have to make an arrangement that refills are also available at a cheaper price. थोड़े सस्ते पे मिलना चाहिए, ये चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है, because without doing that people will not go for, or they will not buy the cylinder again. Other reason could be their paying capacity might not be there. उनकी paying capacity क्या पता impact हो गई हो due to the COVID. Okay, we already knew that the incomes, लोगों की इनकम कुछ खास बड़ी नहीं है, incomes were down because of the COVID, unemployment was there. All these things are the reason, why people are not having money in their hand to go for refilling of their cylinders. Okay, so we have to make some arrangement. Along with that, logistics also have to be improved. Logistics in the sense that it should be important that these cylinders are available in the rural areas and specifically in the tribal belts. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि ये सिलेंडर सिर्फ अर्बन एरिया में मिल रहे हैं, रूरल और ट्राइबल एरियाज में भी आपके सिलेंडर्स अवेलेबल होने चाहिए, then only people are going to buy it. So this is also the additional point which you have to understand. Now all these things are there, okay. We'll move to the next part. Now safeguard domestic violence victims. Okay, so this is what they are talking about, कि कैसे जो है domestic violence के victims को जो है हमें बचाना है. Okay, so this is what the point is. So other than that, there is nothing much. Now seeking to counter China, Biden hosts the ASEAN leaders. Okay, so this is the major development that is taking place. Now these ASEAN countries, you need to understand, they have Chinese diaspora. Okay, यहाँ पे Chinese diaspora है. Already these countries, they enjoy good equation with China. Specifically if you talk about in the trade terms, okay, काफी अच्छा trade करते हैं ये. But these ASEAN countries are also looking for alternatives. ये alternatives भी चाहते हैं. Alternatives in the sense they want to reduce their dependence on China. कि चाइना के ऊपर अपनी डिपेंडेंस को कम करेंगे. Okay, so this is what they want, and they are also looking for alternatives. So one alternative could be India. एक alternative India हो सकता है. India is already a major, you can say, partner in the Indo-Pacific strategy of United States. कि भी Indo-Pacific strategy है US की, which talks about reducing the influence of China in this particular region. Okay, so this is how the whole game is being played. Being played. So that's why these talks are going on, and this is really very significant. Okay, so this is what is there. Now other than that, there is nothing much. So we'll move to the economy page. GDP growth to be almost 8% this fiscal. Okay, so this is how the revised estimates are coming up. So gradually it is being shown that the growth rate is going to be down. So what it was expected earlier, so जो भी बताया जा रहा है कि उससे कम ही होने वाला है. Okay, because there are some latest developments that are there which may have impact this fiscal. So Ukraine-Russia crisis is one such. Okay, this crisis, it has added fuel to the crisis which was already existing because of COVID. So COVID की वजह से जो problem already चल रही थी, उसके अंदर इन्होंने एक तरीके से आग में घी का काम किया है. This is what it is. And it will going to have some impact. Already we know some of the things that are there, that rupee is getting weak. Okay, rupee hits the second record low. This is what it is. It means that your imports are going to be costly. आपका import costly हो जाएगा. And when you talk about import, it means that crude is further going to be costly. Okay, already the crude prices are skyrocketing, and in that scenario, the weakening of rupee is going to add some additional burden. So this is what it is. So India's industrial output expanded 1.9% in March. These are some of the reliefs that are there, specifically the GST collection that is increasing and the industrial output which is increasing. Okay, so ये दोनों चीजें हमारे लिए काफी relief लेके आ रही हैं. Other than that, there is nothing much. So that's it for the day then. Thank you very much.